Good morning, garden friends. Well, I am not in my garden, so I can't say welcome back to my garden, but I am at my home away from home, which is Green Acres. But I went to Green Acres in a different location. I'm at the Roseville location, and I am looking for something to fill in the empty spot where I lost my salvia. Well, I didn't lose it. I had to cut it down, and it's like a big blank area. So come with me and come shopping to see what I might be able to do in that spot. Okay, love lantana, but I don't think I want perennials because that salvia will grow in lickety-split. So I don't think I want that. Or if I am gonna do a perennial, I am not gonna do one in a big, expensive can, because that's expensive. So, God, there's just so many pretty things here. What I'm trying to decide is, do I wanna do just pop in some annuals, like for some color? Because there are some beautiful ones. As you guys know, I don't like yellow or red that much, but I do like apricot. Look how pretty that is. I could put something like this in. Portoluca does well for me, but I'm not sure. I also love, love, love coneflowers. Oh my gosh, look at how pretty these are. Look at these ones. Look how ruffly they are. But this is in a part sun area, so that's not gonna work. Let's see what else. I feel like, no, there's Agastaki. I just got this Agastaki for that little blue pot that I replanted. And again, it likes more sun than I have, plus it's a perennial, and I'm trying to get away from it. But I mean, oh, look at the rusting sage. Oh, look at all the bees. See, they just love it. Oh, zinnia maybe. Look how cheerful zinnias are. I mean, look at, oh, I love these colors. Look at these two together. And these are annuals for me, but I don't like, this is like a highlighter yellow with an ugly marigold orange. Like if I could pick, no, you see, you can't. It comes in this, 6-pack where it's got this mixture. That's too bad, because I would do that. Oh, look at these are pretty. But again, I don't know. They're so, I would have to buy a bunch of them to fill in that space and pop them all around, but it's a possibility. Oops, sorry, I just knocked the camera. I don't like marigolds. Don't like the color. Ooh, look at, okay, now we're talking. These, gorgeous. Profusion cherry. They do like sun, but my salvia did all right there. I mean, that might work. Look how pretty they are. Just do a whole huge drift all in that space. But then again, if they like sun, they're not going to keep blooming like this for me. But it's a chance. See, here's some more salvia. If they have, oh, look at that big guy on there. Look at the size of that guy. Can you see? Look at, they're so cool. I love those. I think that's a carpenter bee. Have fun. They look like they could barely fly themselves with that big body. Now there's Scabiosa, which is, how could it be like the ugliest name for the prettiest flower? I don't know, but I already have this, and I could just make more drifts of it, which is an option. Just doing all drifts. And it also, I found they've got the Tempo Rose GM here, which I think I already have 5 on order, so I'm not going to pick it up. But GMs, they call Avens, but same thing, GM something or other. These have done really well for me in my garden, and they bloom like January, February, when not a lot of other things are, so I highly recommend that plant. And they come in a lot of different colors, like look, orange. This one I like is called Tempo Rose, which I have, but they're a lot smaller. These are much healthier than the ones I have, but I was going to do a whole drift of them over underneath my El Nino. Now these are new to me. These are pentas, and they call them that because they have like 5 petals. They come in pink, red, and white. But I don't know, there's just something about them that it's not appealing to me. But they're pretty. Maybe I just see them more in the container. Like I'm looking for something that I think will spread out and branch and fill in that whole space. Here's the Angelonia that I just planted in the that empty, or not the empty, I cut back that Nemesia and planted the Angelonia. It's doing really well. Look at this pretty little geranium, I guess. Let's see. Kufia. Now Kufia does well for me. Kufia does really well for me. But I don't see the Vermillionaire, which is the one that I really like. My new planters are supposed to come today, so I'm excited. Truffula pink, which I have a ton of. But see a lot of this stuff, like Shasta daisy. The other thing I was wondering is, you know, the area behind our trash bins. What if I put a bunch of coleus in there? Okay, so I spied something interesting when I walked down when we were over at the Angelonia. I saw this interesting flower. Look at this pretty color. What's this? Blue Marguerite, Felicity Blue. That's pretty, huh? Marguerites do well for me. They do well in sun and shady, you know, part shade. Ooh, but look at this one. Aster. Asters are great because they bloom in fall. So, let me try and see if I can get my stupid camera. There we go. Aster, Henry Purple, and it goes 12 to 36 inches tall, so it can get big if it's happy, and you space them, of course, 12 to 36. Mounding. Mine won't get that big because it's going to be part sun, part shade, but I really like these blossoms. You see the blooms on there? They're a pretty aster. So this is a contender. I could just get maybe, 6 of them and plant these in a big drift all around in there. And then, they're, how much are they? They're $10. And get my camera to focus, you would see that too. It just does not like to focus, this camera. Sorry. Yeah, $10.50. So if I do, a drift of those, maybe a drift of that big bumblebee, or maybe it's a different one, but that big carpenter bee is over there on the pentas. In fact, it's like they're really attracted to it. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, here he is. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Okay, so I really like the color of this purple. And what about if I interspersed it with some more of the Scabiosa, since I already have it, create a drift? That would be really pretty. Okay, let's think about that. And let's see if they have smaller versions of that, because that can get pretty pricey at $10 if I want to buy a whole drift of both. So here's the Scabiosa. Do we like this together? I mean, I know I like this because I have it, but the purple on the purple would be pretty. I mean, my philosophy, you can't have too much purple. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, but let's look and see what else. Man, they have, it's pretty, whatever that is. What is that? Like a heather of some sort? Let me see it. What is that? Hercupia. Huh. Beautiful. It's sweet. I like it. It's like, never heard of them. All Kufia. Now I have the other Kufia, so these must be related? Or is it different? I don't know. Okay, let's go hunt and see if we can find smaller versions. I could put in some white. I bet you they have white out verbena. Little Lucky White. This is a local grower that I'm not as familiar with their names, but these look really nice and pretty, but if I'm gonna do a verbena, I'm gonna do the proven winners just because I know how good they are. Okay, let's look down this aisle first. Look at how pretty and cheerful these are. So these are Echinacea, which I think are a cross between a Rudbeckia and an Echian, maybe? Or a Rudbeckia, some sort of, I don't know, but look how cheerful they are. I wish I liked yellow more. No, such luck. Oh, but just walking here makes me happy. Ooh, I see whiteout verbena over there from Proven Winners. So oh no, I don't. I see other Proven Winners, but not the one I wanted. And you know what else I'm always on the lookout for is Homestead Blue or Homestead Purple verbena. I saw it at Cottage Gardens. Oh, look at that color. This is a Portaluca. Yeah, I love Portalucas. They do really well. I saw Homestead Purple at Cottage Gardens when we were there last month. And I somehow managed to convince myself that it wasn't what I was looking for. I thought it was Homestead Blue I wanted, but now I'm not so sure. So, oh well. I had the chance to get it and I miffed up, but oh well. But look at all the colors. Oh, look at the purple lantana against that sherbet orange raspberry color of that lantana. I mean, this is my problem. I love everything. I love every color combination. I love every flower. I want all the things. And so I have to tell myself, no, don't buy that. Nope, don't buy that. Okay, they don't have whiteout, it looks like. They've got Violet Ice, which is, I think, the closest to the Homestead Blue that I'm looking for. It's just a little bit too solid of a purple. They also have, you know, my favorite pink cashmere, which is the best. Look at this pretty Portaluca. But they don't have whiteout. So, nothing for me here. These are so pretty. Okay, as we all know, Calibrocas, dead to me. But I did see somewhere, ooh, I think I see some smaller Scabiosas. And I'm wondering, I saw something else I wanted to look at. Those are sweet. Okay, so here's some Scabiosas. These are pretty. Smaller. So I might get a couple of these to fill in that drift of the one I already have. Oh, look at the Monarda back there. Look at that raspberry. Bee balm. Oh, there's just so many pretty things, you guys. I cannot. Oh, the pretty Angelonia, which I could pop in as an annual and be happy with, I bet. But oh, I don't know. So many choices. I see some fanflower, and you guys know I love fanflower. The purple and the white, but man, I just have not had good luck with it today. Oh, look at the Nephida. Like, Bee Central. Mine never looks like this because it doesn't get enough sun. And so that's the thing to remember, is that plants only look as good as the environment they're planted in. And I am a part sun location that I'm shopping for. So I either need a shade tolerant sun lover or a sun tolerant shade lover. But here are some more of these. I love these, and I have these planted throughout my garden. These are daisies, and they just reseed, but very polite growers. They don't go crazy. I have this kind of pink color, one more. I have a little bit lighter multicolored pink than what we're seeing here, but love it. Here's a Juga, Bronze Beauty, and then also Black Scallop, which are nice. I have Mahogany Glow and Mahogany and Burgundy Glow, I think. I like them. I don't think they're, oh, look at, here's some asters in the smaller containers. Aster Purple Magic. Nice. So these are probably, yeah, they're $6.25. So I could plant some of these, and these are a perennial, and they bloom in fall, so that would be a really good choice for me. Look at this. See, this is why I'm a sucker. I want to put this in my cart so bad. These are the Nemesia. Oh, gosh, they're so pretty. And then here's, I love floss flower, but this color blue just doesn't seem to go in my garden that well. Here's all the geraniums. Look how pretty they are. Just so colorful. Okay, here's the bee balm that we saw from over on the other aisle. Look at that color. What is it? It's like a raspberry. It's called Balmy Purple. Full sun, balmy purple. I'm going to, pretty. And they've got a lilac, a pink, and a red. As we all know, I'm not really much of a red person. I have some bee balm. It bloomed nicely for me, and then it's like in its going back in its second flush, but I have it in way too much shade. Now, phlox is interesting. I've wanted to try phlox for a while. What about doing some white? Mixed in with our Scabiosa and our aster. That would be beautiful. That might be really pretty. I don't have a lot of experience with phlox. I know some of you say it gets mold or powdery mildew easily. So that'd be interesting to see. Give it a shot before I invested in buying a whole bunch of stuff. But here's some of that Scabiosa, which did really well for me in the location that it's in. So I'm really tempted to do that again. And even if I didn't like that space, or the salvia grew in much bigger and I needed to relocate, I know I like it. I know it does well for me, so I could move it. Oh, look at all the penstemon. Oh, so pretty with all the cone flowers behind it. I want all the things. Look at how pretty. Here's the Gara. I have to say, my Gara, I have a lot of foliage on it, but not that much blooms on it, but they are so pretty. They're a plant I've come to appreciate. I didn't like them as much before, but oh, look at, they have these silverwing. I have one of these in my orphan garden, and it's doing great, just kind of neglected sitting there. I'd love to put it in my landscape, but look at the color of it. So we have our Artemisia silver mound, which I have, which is green. And then they have this one, which I'm not familiar with. This is a new plant for me. Her Santolina gray. So those are both like a green gray. And then you just get this bright gray, white, silver. It's very bright. And I feel like it's too much, to be honest, in a garden. It's just too much. So I think that's why I'm having trouble finding a place for it. But they have my beautiful lambs here, some Santa Barbara daisy, as we call it, fleabane, I think is its less attractive name. Love this. I have this in a container, but it's hidden in the shade. It really would prefer to come out in the sun. There's some cool firecracker plant. Hummingbirds love this. I think it gets really big. I always like this thrift. Look how pretty this is. Okay, and then fanflower, which I love, but too unpredictable maybe is the word. Oh, that's a pretty color, huh? Okay, I am close to making a decision, but before I do, I want to go look for a ginkgo for my mom. So let's go find where those are. Okay, real quick, I had to stop at the coleus because look at that. If that were behind my trash bins. Wouldn't that be gorgeous? And it gets some sun, not too much, but I just don't think it gets tall enough. That's my only worry, but wouldn't it be pretty? Okay. Oh, look it, I think I found back to the fuchsia. Ooh, remember I said I wanted to try it? Maybe if I just get one, let's see. Oh, Rockin fuchsia, not back to the fuchsia, so. Oh, look at that big boy, or big girl, I should say. Isn't that fun? I just love those carpenter bees. Okay, these guys, oh, okay, 24 to 36. So this is the same as my Rockin Deep Purple. It will get big and giant and, hi sweetie. Oh, hello, sorry. Okay, too big. Rockin fuchsia. These are all Rockin fuchsia. I wonder if they have, everyone talks about blue suede shoes being Rockin, playing the blues. Yeah, the Rockin ones get big. Well, for me anyway. I would love, look at these guys. I'm having so much fun. I would like to try the unplugged. So here's the unplugged red, but do they have an unplugged blue? Yeah, Rockin. The Rockin series gets too big for what I'm looking for me anyway. That's what I have, the Rockin Purple, and it's too big. Okay, focus on to finding the ginkgo. All right, we're in the tree section now, but look at all these amazing hibiscus. I have the Summerific Berry Awesome, which is this one, and I love it, or I did love it until I moved it, and it gave me an okay performance, but it's petered out. And last year when it had way more sun, it got so much better performance. Okay, I'm looking for, oh, look at this Japanese maple. It needs maybe some pruning, maybe, or some staking up. I don't know that it's supposed to look like that. Is it? Maybe it's a weeping style, but it's kind of weird why it would be weeping. But then also have this trunk. Weird. Okay. Ginkgos, here we come. Okay, I'll be honest, I don't really know what I'm looking for. My mom wants a ginkgo, and I know what they look like because my neighbor has one, but I only know it in his yard. I don't know what it would look like in a can out here. So we're just gonna walk. It's not too terribly hot today. Look at all the crepe myrtles. Oh gosh, just this whole pack of color. So pretty. Now I have, I think this color, Twilight. Yeah, pretty. This is one I have, Twilight. Not pretty. I mean, just the color it brings. Okay, we are continuing to focus. Okay, these are fruit trees, so this is not likely where I want to be. Ginkgos are deciduous, and fall is a great time to plant deciduous trees. Fall is a great time to plant in general. Gives them all fall and winter to settle in and grow their roots. Okay, these are all fruit trees. Plums. My dream in another life, perhaps, my dream would be to have acreage. Let me turn the camera on. My dream would be to have acreage where I could have just orchards and plums and trees and, you know, maybe a couple sheep or goats or something. But I know that that would be a nightmare. You could never go on vacation. You could never leave if you had animals like that, or you'd have to have really reliable help, I guess. But nah, it's too much. All right, I am striking out. I think I'm going to walk down to the end of this aisle. Oh, we're gonna make a detour. Let me turn the camera on. Never, ever, ever plant this stuff. In fact, I'm gonna try and drive by the house on my way home today, and I will show you what happens when you plant morning glory, because it can get out of control so quickly, and before you know it, it has taken over everything. So I see it in the garden center and I just cringe. And I just want to be like, no, no, don't do it. All right, these are red buds, all the red buds, beautiful, but not what we're looking for. Yeah, I don't see any ginkgos. These are pretty, all these weeping birches, your maples, but no. Oh, look at pretty, some conifers, some big pistachios. Holy moly, look at the size of those. But no ginkgos. So that might just be a, you know, a summer plant. Here's some pretty vines. Oh, these are cool. Look at these. These are really similar to my crossvine, aren't they? A little bit more reddy, rosy red. Trumpet vine. I think the crossvine, oh, here it is right here. Tangerine Beauty, crossvine. I think why you want the crossvine is it's less invasive. And I shouldn't say that. Invasive, it's not the invasive. It's just that it doesn't go crazy. You can keep it in check. They also have the bower vines, which I'm really tempted to get a bigger one, because remember in my orphan garden I have the two, and one's not really growing, but I don't think I want to start with a big one like that. And then look at this honeysuckle pink lemonade. Look how pretty that is. Yeah, see, I want all the things. Okay, I'm gonna go ask someone to see if I can find a ginkgo, because that would be nice if I could do that for my mom. Let me go see where someone is at. Oh my gosh, I asked and I was literally like 8 feet away from them. They've got two kinds of ginkgos. They've got kind of your, you know, smaller standard, you know, like a shrub tree. And then they've got these guys that are pruned into like a standard almost. So I'll send that to my mom, but I'm happy I found something like that for her to see. I'll see if she wants me to pick up one of those. All right, I'm gonna go pick up, I think, the plants that I've decided on, which I think is gonna be the Scabiosa and the aster. I think those are both pretty. I can get them in the small containers, so they won't be a really expensive pickup item. And I can relocate them in my garden somewhere else. They'll do great if that area gets taken over by the salvia again. But it should take about a year for it to regrow to that full height. Plus, I'm really seriously considering just dividing it in half anyway. So, all right, let's go. Let's see what I pick up. Thanks. Okay, I am officially a plant hoarder. But I got the white Angelonia. I passed on the phlox. I think I want like more of a dwarf variety, and those look pretty big. But I got the Angelonia. I found some white verbena in a 6-pack, which is a good price. And I also got those zinnias. I couldn't resist. And then I got some Meteor Showers for some height, because I'm gonna need some height. You know, this is gonna be pretty flat for a while. And then I got the asters and the Scabiosa. So I'm gonna go have some fun in planting them. Okay, gang, remember when I said you should not be allowed to buy morning glory? Well, this is why. It is completely overtaken this entire yard. I mean, this entire, it's gonna go up in that tree. What a nightmare. So don't plant morning glory unless you want your yard to look like this. Nightmare. Okay, I am back home. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon, and here's the salvia that I cut down, the Rockin Purple Salvia. You can see just how much space it took up, that whole area in here. So it took up all the way to the cousinette, to the plum wine verbena, to the Scabiosa, to the rock. Kind of was morphing around that ball and had covered up the ajuga. This is called petite parakeet. So I'll cut this in half, get it a little bit smaller, but I've got the plants that I picked up at the store. So 2 Meteor Showers, 4 Scabiosa, because I have one right there. So 5 for total. Couldn't resist those zinnias in a 6-pack. 3 of the asters, a 6-pack of the white verbena, and 3 white Angelonias. I'm thinking with the making the pincushion flowers, maybe this drift here. If I put it like along here, I think it'll play nicely with the John Creek stone crop, which is blooming, by the way, and it's blooming a beautiful purpley pink. Isn't that cool? But you can see it's mostly shade, so they'll get some morning sun. And now that's it, half day. So we'll see how they do. Oh, I also picked up 2 Meteor Shower. Look at these, already found it. Popular plant. So I needed a little bit of height since all these are going to be kind of small for a while. So let me lay them out and see what I think. Okay, I got them all placed. I'm gonna let them kind of percolate. It's too hot to plant this afternoon. It's only like 95 or something, 97 only, 95, but it's too hot for me. So I'm gonna do it in the morning, and I want to think about it a little bit. And let me turn it around. I'll show you what I did. Okay, so I have my Piketty pink feather, oh Lord, Ajuga Feathered Friends Petite Parakeet. How in the world? This is why I have labels. I can never remember all these funny names. I have them there. I have my groundcover verbena, which I think I'm going to go, this cousinette's coming out, and I'm going to make this just a row of this white verbena. I did a sort of a circular, semicircular Angelonia. I think I'm gonna go get something more to put here. I haven't decided what yet. I placed the Meteor Showers on either side of this rock. So one right there, one right there. Then I have my grouping of my aster, which I think I need to space it just a little bit different, a little bit better, more of a triangle. Then right behind it, there's my little grouping of my pincushion flower, and then my zinnias will go behind that, sort of spread throughout here in a sort of a semicircle. Okay, that is the plan for now. We'll see if I keep it. Next, well, not next, but what I wanted to show you was that my planters came in. They are a little smaller than I thought. Here they are. I thought they were going to be taller, but it's fine. It'll work. So tomorrow I have all this soil. It'll go in there. Some of it's for the other planters as well. And then I'm going to start taking stuff out of the pots and start popping them in there. I cut back my vermillionaire, and so far only one looks like it's making a comeback. A little bit of green there. Nothing on this one. I had 3 in here. And nothing on this one. That little green there is a weed. But, oh, actually I take that back. There is some green. So I'll pop these in. What I'm thinking is anchor either side with the vermillionaire. Why is my camera such a pain? Put vermillionaire on either side, and then I'll take these things and pop them in the side, in the middle. All right, so that was nice. You know what was nice is that the plastic ones you don't assemble. The metal ones we had to assemble, which is easy as they were. I still just have my a Buleton flowering maple sitting just on top here, because I haven't decided. Like I mentioned earlier, it would be pretty to have coleus back there, but coleus is not going to get tall enough to cover this fence, which is what I want. And it's, you know, an annual. I want something perennial there. So I think I'm still gonna, I was thinking, wouldn't just like 4 columns of something green kind of going up, a little bit of structure, formality here, because these are so, you know, structured, the fence, you know, everything's kind of, so having just like 4, I don't know, something tall, skinny, but most of the things like that don't do well in shade. So anyway, I'll continue to think about it. As I'm sitting here staring at my calla lily, I'm thinking, well, I could put calla lilies all through there. And they are, for me at least, an evergreen, pretty. Sometimes if they're, you know, stressed out, they can die back. They can get a little browning, and the leaves will die back, and it'll kind of go into dormancy. But that happens more, I think, if it's in the full sun and if it doesn't get a lot of water. Since I baby mine here at the Hummingbird Highway, that might be fun to have, you know, planters full of those. They're pretty. I think they're fun. The leaves have those fun little polka dots on them. Anyway, okay, so tomorrow I'll come back out in the morning, and I'll look at my placement and see if I like it. Oh, funny story. As I was out taking that picture of the video of the morning glory as a warning, the owner came out, and of course at first was like, "What are you doing?" And then they're like, we got to chatting, and he said it's a weed. He can't get rid of it. It's taking over everything. He's an older gentleman, so he's not gonna have the energy to rip it out. And frankly, I don't think he cares all that much, but it's really smothering a lot of his plants. So I think he goes out once a year and kind of pulls it off, maybe some of the bigger bushes and things like that. But he just said, well, if I could get rid of it, I would, but it's not worth the energy, is kind of his his motto. So that was fun. I met a new gardening friend today. All right, gang, that's gonna do it for me today. I hope you are enjoying this challenge. Day 26, a little bit different for me, but shopping for new plants, that is an adventure. So I did get my chores done. I did prune and we did weed. Oh, I should probably say that. My son, as his chores today, he came out and weeded all the spurge out of the gravel. And what's nice is we use a torch. There's no chance of us burning anything. We've got metal edging and stone edging, so we don't ever have a problem with worrying about setting on fire. It looks great, and it's nice to have that chore done. So yeah, I did my watering, I did my weed pulling, I did my pruning, but I did my shopping. That counts as my beautification, doesn't it? Right? Nourishing new garden space. Anyway, garden friends, it's great. Thanks for hanging in with me and watching. And I hope wherever you are today, you get a chance to get into your garden and let it love you today. Bye.